Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's B. Avery here for another episode of Just My Opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And if you like what I'm talking about in this video, please go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Consider subscribing and also click that bell so you can be notified when I make uploads and you will be on your way. So with this episode of Just My Opinion, we are talking about Chadwick Boseman and his latest film, 21 Bridges. If you subscribe to my channel, you will know that I did do a review for this film. Go check it out right now or after you watch this. I love the film. I had high expectations for it and those expectations were met. I thought it was phenomenal. This was actually one of my favorite films of 2019. And just guys, I'm a big fan of Chadwick Boseman. Now, if you're looking at the thumbnail of this video and you saw the title, it says hashtag support Chadwick, because if you are a fan of Chadwick Boseman, we have to support this brother. What is the big deal? Why did I say it will be all over or it's possibly all over? Well, you know that if you're an MCU fan, a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther. Pretty much everybody knows that. And when he signed on to fulfill this role, he signed a 5-picture deal. One film for Captain America Civil War, Black Panther 1, Black Panther 2, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. If you look at all those films right there, he only has one film left in his contract. And after that, when he comes back for possibly Black Panther 3, I want him to be able to go to Marvel and Disney and be like, hey man, look, I want you guys to pay me the money. Seriously, real talk, pay me the money because I am a box office hit. But the thing is, guys, he's really not a box office hit. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But really, there is really no such thing as a said actor or actress today in the modern day as far as films is concerned. It's just a guaranteed blockbuster juggernaut. You can't say that about The Rock. You cannot say that about Will Smith. You can't say that about anyone unless the film that they are involved in is already an established franchise or IP, an intellectual property. Let's look at Will Smith, for example. Gemini Man, that bombed at the box office. I mean, this guy used to be a box office juggernaut way back in the day, the 90s, early 2000s. But if you look at his box office today, you really can't say that. Even with The Rock, yes, the Fast and the Furious franchise makes over $1 billion, but that is a franchise. It's an ensemble cast. Jumanji with The Rock also made nearly $1 billion, but that is a known IP. That is a franchise right now, and that was an ensemble cast. So what I'm saying is you really can't take one actor, if they're in a solo film, either the titular character of the movie or just the main lead, you cannot just guarantee that they will make box office juggernaut dollars at the box office. That's just the reality of it is, the situation, the way things are run right now in Hollywood. I mean, not on purpose. That's just the way things are. People just go because they like the property. They like it's Marvel, comic books, or some franchise. And when you look at Black Panther, which, yes, it made $1.3 billion. The Avengers made over $1 billion and $2 billion. And Captain America Civil War made over $1 billion. But like I said, guys, that's a known IP. But if you look at Chadwick Boseman filmography, it is, as far as the box office dollars is concerned, unfortunately, guys, it is just not that impressive. Now, this is how the box office works. A film needs to make 3 times the production budget for the studio to feel that it got a respectable profit. This is not an exact science, but this is an estimate and a general idea of how it works. Let me go ahead and give you an example. If the production budget costs $50 million to make the film, which means to make the film, which includes all of the actor and actress's salary, and pretty much everybody in the ending credits, everybody that gave forth some type of effort to make the film, that's what the production budget sums up. Now, the marketing budget is just used to promote the film, to market the film, and that's a completely separate budget. 95% of the time, the studios will release the production budget, but they rarely release the marketing budget. It can be more than the production budget, it can be the same, or it can be less. It just depends. So let's go ahead, let me give you an example. So let's say, for instance, a film costs $50 million to produce. It took $50 million to make. So the studio would need to make $150 million worldwide throughout his whole theatrical run so that the studios can make a respectable profit, because there's three costs to a film. You have your production budget, you have your marketing budget, and you also have the percentage of the box office sales that goes to the theater/theater owners. Yes, guys, the theaters do get a cut of the box office. Think about that. That would be just dumb business sense. If you own a building or a line of theaters and someone is playing their movies and you don't get a cut of the sales at all, they don't get a large percent. Theaters, they do make majority of their money off of concessions, popcorn, drinks, candy, and all that good stuff, but they still get a box office cut. And on average, at the entire end of a theatrical run, the theaters get around 33%, a third of the box office sales. Also, it's also a changing scale. Like, say, for instance, the first opening weekend for a film, that is the most important for a studio, because the first weekend, the studio may get around 75% of the box office sales, while the theater only get about 30. And then the next week, the second weekend, the studio may get 70%, while the theater owners get 35. Then the next week, 65, and then 45, and then it goes on down from there or whatever. So a theater owner, their dream is to have a film in theaters for like 6 months, because at the end of the theatrical run, they're getting the most of the box office sales. But mostly, films don't last in theaters that long unless it's like Titanic or Avatar or something like that. But let me just back up real quick. $150 million. So if you take $150 million, so the production budget for a film, and as an example, hypothetical, $150 million to make the film, to produce the film, it needs to make 3 times that. Everybody knows that 50 times 3 is 150. So if you take 33% of 150, then 49.5. But we're just going to round it up to 50. So you have 150 million minus 50, the third that goes to the theater/theater owners, you have $100 million left over. Then you have your marketing budget. Let's just go ahead and say that the marketing budget is around $75 million. So 100 minus 75, the studio has now profited a rough amount of about $25 million in profit. And so it's not an exact science, but you do have to account for the marketing budget, okay? Because you just have to, okay? I mean, you can't, it's just a cost you have to account for. It's like saying, hey, let's go drive around the country, and someone is not able to give you the exact amount of gas money, but you still know that you need gas money, so you just have to secure that or whatever. So this is kind of a breakdown of how that works. And so as far as 21 Bridges is concerned, the budget for that film was $33 million, okay? So what is 33 times 3? Not even using a calculator, it's $99 million, okay? So let's go ahead and round it up to $100 million, round it up $1 more million. So for 21 Bridges, for the studios to get a respectable profit, it needs to make at least $100 million worldwide in this whole theatrical run. Because, and I just did the math for you, because if you look at Chadwick Boseman's filmography, guys, mostly all of his films have lost the studio money, which is not good, and it sucks because he's a talented actor, except for the films that he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So let's look at this real quick. We got Draft Day that came out in 2014. The production budget for that film was $25 million. Worldwide, it only made $29 million. I don't need to do any math to let you know that film lost the studio money. I mean, 29 million, if you times 29 million times 0.33, $9.57 million is going to the studio. Okay. So, to the theater owner. So 29 million minus 9.57, you got $19 million left over. Okay, then you have to also consider the marketing. You know what I'm saying? And you just do the math from there, and the film lost the studio money. It's just not making the studio money, unfortunately. Unless the marketing budget was just like super low, like $1 million. But I mean, come on, guys, it's not going to be that low. We know that. All right, let's look at Get On Up. Get On Up cost $30 million to produce, to make that film. It only made $33 million worldwide. I mean, you take away marketing, you take away the percentage that the theater owners get, that film lost the studio's money, unfortunately. Gods of Egypt, which came out in 2016, which was a farce, that film cost $140 million to make. It only made $151 million at the box office. that film lost the studio money. Now, of course, Captain America Civil War, that was a cameo, so we're not going to count that. That's in the MCU. That defeats the point. Message from the King, which is a Netflix film. That film cost $10 million. I really can't judge that one because it debuted on Netflix. Marshall, very cheap film, great film. Cost the studio $12 million to make that film. Worldwide, it only made $10 million. So it made even less than what it cost to make. So that film lost the studio money big time. And then you have 42. Now, the film 42, it cost $40 million to make. So if 40 times 3 is $120 million, but the film only made $97 million worldwide. So that film right there, possibly just broke even. So that's the only film on Chadwick Boseman's filmography that did somewhat decent at the box office. Other than that, it was just MCU films or whatever. And it wasn't Chadwick Boseman that sold those movies. He didn't sell Avengers Endgame or Avengers Infinity War or Captain America Civil War. He sold Black Panther. But if you would have put any black person for the most part in that film, it would have made money. So Marvel Disney, when he wants to come back and negotiate his contract for Black Panther 3 and beyond, they can be like, hey man, the only reason you made money in films is because it's a comic book MCU film that we own. All your other films has lost money, so we're gonna pay you this, and I don't want that to happen. I at least want this brother to have one film to where it's like, look, I was the main character in this original film. It had nothing to do with a known franchise. It had nothing to do with some intellectual property that everybody knows, and I made the studio money or whatever. So this is what I want to get paid, because I'm just looking out for my brother, ADOS, FBA, Black American, strong African American. I want this brother to succeed. And I wouldn't be doing this little campaign right here if I didn't think 21 Bridges was good. It's a great film, guys, and you need to go see it. And I really want to go see it again in theaters. And I know I'm going to be buying it on Blu-ray 4K just to support this man. I mean, the film was directed by Brian Kirk. That was one of his first features. It's being produced by Joe and Anthony Russo, who are part of the MCU as well. So guys, we have to support this film. If you are a fan of Chadwick Boseman, please support this film. Follow me on Twitter, guys, at JustMyOpinion84. I had a tweet that I made a number of days ago. It says, if you are a fan of Chadwick Boseman, please make plans to see at 21 Bridges. It's wonderful. Went in with high expectations that were met. I could sympathize and empathize with the main character who displays superb acting. Hashtag support Chadwick. Hashtag 21 Bridges. Hashtag just my opinion reviews. Please, guys, retweet this. Let's get this thing to go viral. Let's get this tweet right here trending. Please retweet this. Just tweet support Chadwick if you are a fan of Chadwick Boseman. I want this brother to go to Marvel and be able to negotiate better than what he would before if this movie came out. So I'm going to do my part. Guys, please do your part. Please just do your part and go see the film, okay? Share this video. Go watch my movie review. Share that. Just share, support Chadwick. Let's get this tweet twending. Let's get this hashtag twending. Let's get this, let's get this trending. Let's get this hashtag moving, guys, on social media. So support Chadwick, please. I support you, my brother. I respect you. You're a great actor, and I'm here for you. I'm rooting for you, man. I am rooting for you. I'm one of your #1 fans. But guys, that is just my opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to the channel. I just reached 15,000 subscribers, guys, so thank you so much. Please subscribe to the channel and help me reach 20,000 subscribers, and then we can move on to 1 million. Also, please look me up on social media, which I just mentioned. We got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. It's also in the description box and the pinned comments. We got links. All you got to do is click on the link and then click follow, and then you helping your boy out. At least help me get to at least 1,000 followers on Instagram. Help your boy out. But guys, I just want to thank you again so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget to always chase your dreams, because I'm chasing mine. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.